Makato in the Cowrie shell.
Once upon a time, there was a boy whose name was Makato. He was an orphan, for his father and mother had died when he was very young. He had no brothers, sisters, cousins, or friends to take care of him, so he had to make a living for himself. He did every kind of work, carrying heavy things, clearing away the forest, or feeding pigs. He never idled over his work. And although he was paid only a small wage, he was satisfied. He knew that if he did not work, he would starve. Whenever he went, his employers praised him for being sensible, hardworking, good-tempered, and cheerful. One fine evening, after he had finished chopping up a big pile of wood, he sat down for a rest and thought of all he would like to do in the future. He wanted to try his luck in far-off strange lands, or he longed for exciting adventures.
What are you thinking about so deeply, my boy?
I would like to go to a journey for adventure.
Said Makato, pointing the northeast.
I'm here that the land over there is fertile. Our people are so kind. I wish I could see that the land for myself.
His eyes sparkled with excitement.
The land you wish to go to is called Sukhothai.
Sometimes later, Makato decided to try his fortune. He left his village and set out into the wide world. He walked along cheerfully, enjoying new sights and talking to the people he met on the way. After a month's journey, he reached a village on the frontier of the kingdom of Sukhothai.
Please, can I have some water to drink?
Makato asked an old woman with a big water pot on her head.
I'm so thirsty.
Where did you come from? Why are you here alone? You look as if you'd come a long way.
Said the old woman, pouring cold water from her pot into a small cup and handing it to Makato.
Thank you so much.
Said the boy.
Who are you, father and mother? Haven't you any family?
The old woman asked again.
I have neither father nor mother. I come from the city of Moon over there.
Replied Makato.
Good heavens! Have you really come from Moon? How is it that you are traveling alone? Such a young boy as you are.
I wanted to say to the Prarawang of Sukhothai. They say he is a very kind-hearted king.
You are determined, boy.
Said the woman.
Come along with me.
Makato was glad to go with her. If he could work for this kind woman, he would have a place to sleep, some food to eat, and perhaps someday he might be lucky enough to see the king. The old woman's husband was one of Prarawang's mahouts, which meant that he helped look after the hundreds of elephants that the king owned. Makato helped the mahout find food for the elephants and clean out the elephant sheds. He worked hard, well, and the mahout and his wife were fond of him. One day, the sky was so clear and the weather so fine that it seemed to Makato that it must be a lucky day. As he worked in the elephant shed, a tall young man in a splendid costume, followed by attendants, came in. It was Prarawang himself. Makato bowed low at once with his hands clasped together before him. His heart beat fast.
Where did that boy come from?
King asked the old mahot who was attending him.
He came all the way from the city of Moon.
Said the old mahot, bowing.
Heard so much about you, Your Majesty, that he longed to see you.
How old is he?
12 years old, Your Majesty.
Good looking and a hard-working boy.
Said the king.
Take good care of him.
As the king walked away, Makato saw a little cowrie shell lying on the ground. He ran to pick it up and held it to the king, but the king said with a smile,
You may keep it. How wonderful! The king has given me a cowrie shell.
At that time, the people of Sukhothai used cowrie shells as money, although one cowrie shell had little value. Makato wanted to make as much use of it as possible, for it was the king's gift. For a long time, he could not think of a way to use it, so that it would earn more money for him. One day, he passed by a stall in the market, where the seeds of many different plants were sold. He looked along the stall and caught sight of a basket full of lettuce seed. Lettuce! He could grow small plants like that. He asked the jolly-looking woman at the stall.
Can I buy some lettuce seeds?
Oh yes, my boy. How much do you want?
Said the woman.
I have one cowrie shell.
That won't buy anything. I can't even measure that too much.
Said the woman, laughing.
Look, I'll dip my finger into a pile of seeds. Then I take the seeds that stick to it. That must be about right for one cowrie shell.
Well, why not? Said the woman, amused at his suggestion. All right, boy, help yourself.
Then he put his finger into his mouth and dipped it into a pile of seeds. When he pulled his wet finger out, it was covered with seeds. He carefully scraped them off his finger into the palm of his hand and went away happily clutching the seeds. Now that he had seeds, Makato broke the soil and sowed them at once. He watered the seed every day, and soon the young plants appeared. Day by day, he cleared more ground and planted more lettuce seedlings until the kitchen garden was covered with them. He was very proud of himself because he had done so well.
I wish I could give the king some of my fine lettuce.
One day, the king passed by the elephant sheds again. Makato waited his opportunity, then knelt down and proudly presented his biggest bunches of lettuce to the king.
Where did you get this?
He asked, surprised. I grew them.
I grew them the cowrie shell you gave me, Your Majesty.
Answered Makato with a beaming smile.
How could you do that?
Makato told the king the whole story. The king was impressed with his intelligence and industry, so much so that later on he gave Makato a job in the palace. As the years passed, Makato grew taller and handsome. He mastered every grace and served the king well. He was so loyal that the king trusted him absolutely. He was promoted to higher and higher positions until he was given the title of Kunwang, which meant that he was the most important person in the king's court. He was also happily married to a beautiful young daughter of the king. After that, the king made him the ruler of Mon. So it was that Makato had once been a poor orphan became the king of the prosperous kingdom.